my name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the third video in my Spring Through the Genres series that I am putting out this week on this channel. Like I've been saying, the gist of these videos is I want to share my book list, the books that I am so excited to read in all of my favorite genres. So today's video is mysteries. And a mystery is kind of loosely defined as a book that a detective solves a crime of some sort. So like a whodunit book. So the first book on my list I'm excited for because it's actually touted as the perfect mystery. So the book I'm talking about is Agatha Christie's book, And Then There Were None. This was published in 2004, so this is the oldest book on my list. So this story is basically a story about 10 rich people were invited to this secluded island by this host, and they don't know why they're there and they don't know each other, and they all have big secrets, like real big secrets. And then when they get to the island, the host isn't there, but they start dying one by one. They get murdered off until there were none. And so I'm excited about this book. I've heard just great things about it, so we'll see what is going on there. So the second book I have is kind of a historical fiction murder mystery, and this is called The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This was published in 2006. And so this story is about a woman. She's an author, and she has spent her whole life writing stories of her life, kind of a life history, and she's told a number of them, and they're all different. So clearly they're not all true. And so this woman becomes old. And then she wants to, I think, start telling her true story. So she requests a biographer to work with her to tell her story. I'm not sure why she doesn't want to tell it herself, but I think she wants the interaction of the other person. They start going through her history. And I think what's kind of fun about this is, like, she's so used to lying, if you will. She's so used to telling stories about her history that it takes a bit to pull the truth out of her and what really happened in her lifetime. So I'm very curious about that. So the third book on my book list in the murder mystery that I'm super excited about is called And Only to Deceive. This is one of those Lady Emily books. It's, I think, the first one in the series. It's written by Tanya Alexander. I think I'm right. And it was published in 2006. So this is a historical suspense novel set in Victorian England. So this woman, Emily, she gets married, kind of arranged marriage to this man, and then he dies. I can't remember how. And so she becomes a very young widow. And she's not really grieving him because she didn't really know him. But during this book, at the beginning of the book, she starts to go through his things and learn more about him. And she finds kind of an academic. He collected things. He liked antiques. And then she finds that there's this potential crime that involves some of the artifacts that he has referenced. And so she starts to pursue that. And then at the same time, I think she gets like a number of different suitors, and some of them might be a little bit sinister. So it sounds really good. The next book on my list is the second book in the Armand Gamache series. It's called A Fatal Grace. I've read the first one. I really liked it. I like his character a lot, the chief inspector. This story is again in the small town of Three Pines. So you kind of go back to the same spot, which I really like. And in this book, there's a woman who is murdered. She's actually electrocuted in front of a whole crowd of people. I guess they were all around this lake watching a curling competition of some sort, and she was electrocuted in the middle of the lake. She is one of the least liked women in this small town, so it sounds like everybody kind of doesn't like her, so he has to go through and figure out who would actually want to murder her. Sounds really good. Okay, so I'm excited to jump back into that series. This next book is another Agatha Christie book. I mean, it's the mystery section of my series, so I need some more Agatha Christie. So this one is The Murder on the Orient Express. I haven't seen the movie. I really would like to. And so this story is about a train, a number of people on the train, and the train gets stuck in a snowdrift, and then there's a murder. So I guess there is a rich American that gets murdered in his compartment, but the door was locked from the inside, sort of thing, which I always love. And so I'm looking forward to reading what happened there. And this book I actually just recently picked up in my latest book haul, so if you want to take a look at that video, I will link it above. The next book on my list is called A Curious Beginning. It's the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series, and I feel like this kind of has a similar feel to those Lady Emily books. And in this case, there's this woman, Veronica, who is interested in like exploring the world and scientific pursuits, and then something peculiar happens. So someone tries to abduct her. She doesn't know why. And it's thwarted by the help of this Baron, this man that she doesn't know, that kind of comes out of nowhere. And he helps her so she's not abducted. And he tells her that he has some secrets for her. He knows some stuff about her. He knows why someone might have been after her. And he's going to tell her at a later date, right? And then you can probably guess it. He gets murdered. And then she's kind of stuck with like, why is someone trying to abduct me? What is going on? And so she starts solving the mystery from there. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I like these strong female detective book series. This next book is also about a woman detective. It's kind of about a group of sisters. It's called A Girl with a Gun. And this is the first in the Cop Sisters mystery series. So this is fun because it's based on sisters, 3 sisters. The oldest, actually I don't know if she's the oldest, but one of them named Constance, she becomes the first female deputy sheriff, I believe. I'm not sure where, I forgot that. But so it is a true story of sorts. And the story starts with the fact that her and her sisters, her family, were in a buggy and it gets hit by another buggy or something. And the person who hits her is a gangster of sorts. And he's like a powerful man. And then in trying to solve this dispute, it starts to get ugly, and this man sends people out to their property, and she and her sisters are in charge of kind of defending their property and their family. So this is kind of the first story that sets up her and her sisters and her family. So this sounds really good. The next book on my list, I just picked up in that book haul as well, and I'm really excited for it. It's called Winterhouse by Ben Guterson. It came out in 2018, so it is definitely a little bit of a newer book. It is a middle grade book, and I picked it up because I'm interested in potentially reading it aloud to my kids. I love mysteries, clearly. I love mysteries. I'm super psyched about all of these books on my list, and I would like my kids to get into mysteries, and so this one just sounded really cute. It is about this girl. She's an orphan, and her parents, not her parents, she's an orphan. Her aunt and uncle send her to this hotel. It's called Winterhouse Hotel, and she starts to discover stuff. Like she finds this amazing library, and then she finds this magical book, and this magical book talks about different puzzles and the curse, I think the curse on this house, and then she starts to find out that she is an integral part of solving or breaking the curse of this house, this hotel. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know why she's involved or how this all happened, but I think that's part of her and another friend trying to solve this mystery of the house and why she matters, I guess. So it sounds really good. And I like the cover. And the last book on my list is called Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, and it was put out last year, so 2019. And this one sounds really interesting. It's about this community that has a special kind of treatment center, and it's a treatment center that has been touted to help with like infertility or autism, and it's a hyperbaric chamber, I think. So they give you lots of oxygen. I might have to look into that, but I'm pretty sure that's the premise. And it's supposed to help with all these different ailments, but it explodes one day. And then the book, most of the book, is told to try and figure out, was there foul play? Is there something going on here? Was there a mom who didn't want to be a mom to an autistic child that did this on purpose? So it's this sort of like underlying storyline, and I think it's told kind of through the courtroom. So it's a courtroom drama. They're trying to figure out the kind of mystery of what happened. How did this explosion happen? Was there something sinister going on here? So it sounds really good. It sounds really interesting. So that is my list. That is my list of all of the books that I've compiled that I'm really excited about. And I just really like the genre of mystery, of murder mystery, of detectives, of chief inspectors and things like that. And so I'm really excited for this list, and I hope you have found some good books off of this list that you potentially want to read, and I hope you can get a hold of them right now if you do want to read them. And like always, please put some recommendations down in the comments for others, but also for me. And thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider liking, subscribing if you like what you see. And I will see you again tomorrow for another video in the Spring Through the Genres series. Okay, thank you and take care.